What I'm going to say might be completely obvious, but I want to describe how our political system works in my view and what's wrong with it. It's kind of a rehash of some stuff I've said in other videos, but in the US there are three constituencies, two of which are within the electorate, divided in halves by ideology, either left or right wing. And then the third constituency would be the sum of corporations, NGOs, and foreign interests. In the US, we have a two-party system, with each major party representing the interests of each ideological wing of the electorate, at least on the surface. They ultimately represent the interests of that third constituency as it relates to certain aspects of domestic policy and practically all aspects of foreign policy. The will of the electorate is disconnected from policy by virtue of its hijacking by this third constituency, who always gets what they want due to their funding of the politicians, essentially the purchasing of them through the coefficient of corruption by which private money is converted into public power that serves the interests of the payers. And in certain cases, that plus blackmail. What the people get in the victory of their respective wing of the political class is a temporary reprieve from the threats levied against the subset of the Bill of Rights that they happen to cherish by the opposing party. So each party is threatening some subset of rights held dear by the opposing party's constituency. So it's like each fraction of the electorate has a subset of rights that they cherish, and mostly what their respective party does for them is defend that subset of rights from the opposition, who perpetually threatens them. So it's like they have to participate or else they face the threat of losing their rights. It's like a forced kind of participation. There's no permanent victory in this perennial struggle as power switches between two parties and each fraction of the electorate sees its subset of cherished rights eroded, if only temporarily. The ground would be regained upon the backlash and swinging of the political power in the other direction in a subsequent election. But these rights should not always be up for grabs. They should just be articulated by the Constitution, or they are articulated by the Constitution. They shouldn't be ever threatened. But that's what's happening, is the threat against these rights is used as a way to coerce people into participating in a corrupt system. The situation is such that if both parties got what they wanted in terms of eroding the rights of the opposing constituency, we'd have no rights at all. Nothing is permanently gained in this struggle for the electorate. It's just like a tide that goes back and forth. The whole thing is just a show to keep the system going and give it the appearance of legitimacy. In the meantime, corporations, NGOs, and foreign interests get whatever they want, no matter who wins, as they own every horse in the race. The only solutions I can think of are to get the money completely out of politics, or create another branch of government that is neither politically appointed nor subject to the corrupt electoral process. A house of randoms selected by lottery that is sacrosanct and sourced from a body of qualified individuals to serve in terms with the ability to veto any piece of legislation that's signed by the executive. Each piece of legislation would be weighed for its constitutionality and checked for the level of corruption that was brought to bear in its inception and ultimate approval. That's all for now.